Anyway, the next video that we are going to watch, this is an interesting one. I haven't watched it, but the title sounds very interesting. I forgot who posted this in the Discord, but it says, "I can't work a 9-to-5 job. Feels like I'm dying." And this guy looks relatively young, so I'm really curious to hear his perspective, and I want to see why he says he can't work a 9-to-5 job. No, I'm not playing Aaron the Plumber again. I refuse.
Anytime I've ever tried, I started to legitimately lose my mind. Like, I've worked so many different types.
Wait, is that what?
I can't work a 9-to-5 job. Anytime I've ever tried, I started to legitimately lose my mind. Like, I've worked so many different types of jobs. I've worked at U-Haul before. I've worked at a call center. I've worked from home. I've done sales. I've done customer service. I've done real estate. I've done food service jobs, retail. I've done it all. Like, I've worked so many different types of jobs. Sometimes this job I might last 9 months. This one 2 weeks, 3 months here.
Honestly, I'm surprised he's still getting jobs, because that's a huge red flag for an employer. That's a huge red flag. I mean, I have interviewed people for positions like plenty of times before, and a lot of the applicants that I see that have like these like quick changes in jobs, like within your job history, that's a red flag to me. Like, why do you keep hopping from job to job to job? Huge red flag. So I really am surprised he kept getting work.
1 day here. I've never lasted at a job longer than 1 year. I just can't do it. I legitimately can't do it. And anytime I've ever tried to express this feeling to people that jobs aren't for me, people look at me crazy, like I'm lazy and like I need to suck it up, and that's just life. Newsflash, that's not just fucking life. If it was just life, there wouldn't be people who are doing whatever they want to do all the time. There wouldn't be the rich people. There wouldn't be people who are...
Those people work, stupid. How do you think they got there? You think these people just planted a fucking... You think these people are Kendrick Lamar and they planted a money tree in their backyard? You think money is free. You have to work in order to get these things. What are you talking about? I feel like I need to rewind that. Hold up.
Free. Newsflash, that's not just fucking life. If it was just life, there wouldn't be people who are doing whatever they want to do all the time. There wouldn't be the rich people. There wouldn't be people who are free. I feel like so many people...
You don't have to work a job. You don't have to. You can be out on the streets if you want to. Be homeless. If you don't want to work, cool. You say a job isn't for you, live on the streets. So, time out. You don't want to... I see you. It looks like you're in a room, you're in an apartment or a house. I don't know. So, you want to have these things, but you don't want to work for it. That's not how life works, my G. You sound crazy.
Stuck. They're in like this box. I don't want to use the word matrix because I'm not trying to be cringe like Andrew Tate. Speaking of him, I just want to go on a little rant real quick. I'll see people online like him who say life isn't about being happy. Life isn't about like enjoying what you want to do, and it's just work. It's just grind. And the fuck? This isn't...
Who the fuck said that you can't have both? You can have both. I like my life. I'm relatively happy, but I have a big boy job. I have a job. I want, like you guys know, I want to do this full time, but even when I do, it's gonna be a fucking job. Like, I consider this a part-time job because a lot of work goes into this. You are making content. If you want to get paid off your content, you are going to have to work. Whatever you do, work. That's how it is. Nothing is just handed to you.
Like caveman days where you're just doing shit just to do it. Like, we live in a time where you have the ability to love what you do and be able to actually make it work. Why would I want to do something I don't like? Why would I want to hate my life?
Chat, okay, hold up. Chat, real quick. For everybody that is caught up right now with the live stream, put a W in the chat if you love your job. This is your dream job. This is what you always wanted to do and you love to work. Put a W in the chat if that's the case. Put an L in the chat if you don't like your job. This is not something that you want to do for the rest of your life, and you don't necessarily want to work, but you are working because you know you have to get a job in order to live, and you're only doing the job because it's a job. If that's the case, put an L in the chat. Everybody, LLL7. Some W's, cool. Some W's. LLL. And keep in mind, guys, for those of you that are putting W's in the chat, just know you are blessed. You are actually blessed, and I am too, because I like my job too. I would put a W in the chat. I like my job, but the job that I had previously that I used to complain about all the time, it was just a job, and I hated. I did not like the organization.
Somebody could give me $500,000 and say, "Here, work this job for the next 60 years." Fuck you. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because it's not about the money for me. It's never been about the money. I want freedom. I want happiness. That's what this shit is all about. Why would I want to make my life miserable and spend 70% of my life at a job?
Be homeless.
I even hated school. Like as a kid, I remember starting school, whether it was at 7 a.m. or at 8 a.m., 6 a.m., leaving at 3, 4, 5, whatever. And I'm looking around and I'm like, Does anybody else not see how crazy this is? Like, what are we actually doing right now?
Look, to an extent, I completely understand. It sucks that we have to work to live, but that's the reality that we live in today. You cannot have it both. You cannot have it both ways. If you want this freedom and you still want to live comfortably, you're going to have to work. Okay? You need money. If you want freedom, you need money. That's how this country is set up.
I'm learning about this bullshit that I know won't matter. And when I ask the teacher, when am I going to use this in real life, they can't give me an answer. I knew it was bullshit from the beginning, but it was like I was a kid and all I have to do is get the grades or else I'm going to get in trouble at home. That's what life was. So now as an adult who's able to finally make decisions, I'm looking at the cycle basically repeat itself, where instead of it being school, it's work, and people are like, just do it. Anytime I've tried to tell people I can't work a job, they don't understand where I'm coming from. I'm not doing it. Fuck a job. I can't do it. I've tried anything and everything to make it work. I've tried drugs like antidepressants and ADHD meds. It doesn't matter. Trying to make myself normal. Right? Trying to make sure I can just work the job like everybody else. No.
Thank you for the $4.99
super chat. I need to
super
accept
chat.
that this is who I am. Right? And that's fine. And I shouldn't feel guilty about this is who I am. I shouldn't feel guilty about that. Like, okay, you can work your regular job and you can be fine with it. Not me. Not me. I don't care. I live alone. I have bills. Right? I have to pay my rent. I have to pay my car insurance. I have to pay.
Okay, so he said he lives alone. He has rent. He has bills. So, what you gonna do about that? Tell me. You have all of these things that you have to pay for. What you gonna do? Because you need money.
My credit card bills. I have so many bills. But I'd rather be uncertain about where my money's gonna come from than have to work a job that I hate. It doesn't matter. I don't care about the money. I want autonomy over who I am. A great example is my last job. I just quit my last job. I started my new job like a month ago. And it was working fine. I was, telling my parents about it, having conversations with my dad. Everybody was saying like, yeah, this is finally good. Like you're finally like going somewhere and you're doing something and I was like, it's whatever. And then I'm working there and like I'm starting to like just get the feelings that I always get when I have a job. Where it's just like, I don't want to go to work. And it's like when I get off of work, I have no...
Who the wants to go to work? Who the fuck? There is a small percentage of people out here that wake up, be like, I can't wait for fucking work. I can't wait. Nobody really wants to work. I don't mind what I do. I like what I do, but I don't wake up and go with a cup of coffee in my hand already. As soon as I get up off the bed, I can't wait for work. Oh, I cannot wait. No, nobody wants to work. We just know that we have to work.
I have to get right back in front of my computer and begin working on dumb shit again. It was a sales job, so I'm sitting here calling people on the phone, and my manager is nitpicking and micromanaging and telling me what I can and can't do, and I can't do that. I can't have somebody telling me what to do. So that anger was just building up, and I just said, fuck this. I finished my shift that day, and I just stopped showing up. And my manager was like emailing me, sending me messages like, where are you? Like, did you put your PTO in? Did you request time off? Fuck you. Like, that just reinforced my idea of, why am I allowing somebody else to be in control of my life? Like, this dude.
Your manager also has a job. He also has a responsibility. Him hitting you up and saying, hey, where are you? You aren't here. Do you need to put it in PTO? Because you're his employee. That's how that works. For you to just be like, you, I don't want to do what you want. You sound like a brat. You sound like a child.
Dude,
super entitled.
Is literally texting me saying, where are you at? You're supposed to be in work. You're
yeah, because that's what you signed up for.
I'm supposed to nothing. I'm not supposed to do anything. Like,
I'm not supposed
to be told what to do.
Okay.
I refuse to be at the mercy of another person.
Okay.
I can't do it. I won't do it.
So let's say, all right. So let's say, for the sake of argument, he gets money from YouTube, right? He blows up, his channel blows up, and he can fully sustain himself with content creation. You are still at the mercy of somebody, and that somebody is going to be the platform that you are posting on. You can't say certain things, you can't do certain things, you can't act a certain way. Even off of the platform, you can't act a certain way. Just ask Fresh and Fit. They know. Now they know. But yeah, no matter what you do, man, you're going to be at the mercy of someone. So what you want in life, it isn't going to come to you unless you live in the woods or on the streets, for that matter.
That's not why I was put on this earth. I feel like I'm different for.
You're good, Albert. You're fine.
And I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm the chosen one or anything, but I legitimately.
Sherry made a good freaking point in the chat. She said, "What about his coworker What about his coworkers who had to pick up the slack when he just bounced without a warning?" True. That's very true. And I agree. Like, you aren't being considerate to them. Like, everybody is working so that they can live, man. Like, I don't understand how you don't understand that. Like, that manager was probably freaking the out because you probably put your work off on a lot of other people, with that manager included, more than likely.
I feel like there's a reason I am who I am. Like, look around. There's people who are in the Olympics, people who are famous streamers,
work,
who are in the NBA,
work,
people who are musicians,
work,
people who are models,
work.
These people don't work regular jobs.
What the are you talking about? Just because it's a regular job, that doesn't mean that it's not work. What are you talking about? Who? I have to question his parents at this point. I could tell he's very young. But this is work. Kai Cenat puts in work. He's constantly working. These streamers work. Now, I'm not going to say that it's not a dream job, because it is. But you have to put in work. You think they just sit on their asses and they don't plan any type of content? This is work. Guys, I was working on today's stream for a good, 4 or 5 hours. For one, I was finishing the goddamn title screens that you guys see here. I was finishing these, and I was also trying to get the alerts set up. Like, I still didn't get them set up because I've never used Stream Elements before, and I just have to get used to it. And I got lazy. I'm not going to lie. I was like, I'll just do it next stream. So alerts will be better next stream. Like, and even just finding the content that I want to talk about, that takes some time too, man. That takes a lot of time. This is work. I'm not just sitting here on my ass and just talk. Like, all this stuff is thought out, even though yes, what I'm doing is like talking to you guys. So it may not seem like I'm doing much, but to prepare for these streams, yeah, it can be a lot.
These people were molded for something specific. And I feel like people who feel
Not
like
everybody can be a streamer. Not everybody. If you don't have the personality to be a streamer, then you can't be a streamer. If you don't have any personality, if people do not like your commentary, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to do it. You cannot be a model if you are butt ugly. You can't. You cannot.
yes, people who feel like me, I feel like you are one of those people. You're one of those people who could become special with the gifts that you have, and naturally your body is telling you that you're not meant for the ordinary, and so many people just give in. So many people just follow the script of what's already written for them, the blueprint of life. And you're just supposed to get that job, and you're just supposed to marry that girl and start this family. And you're just supposed to live in your hometown forever, and you're just supposed to retire at 75. I refuse. And I feel like a lot of other people, they know this, but they can't make that leap. They can't make that step, because most people are one decision away from their lives changing forever. And I've seen it firsthand. I've been somebody who has had it all and lost it all. And I know how to get to the top of that mountain.
Shut up, Moosey.
And this time I just won't lose it. Most of you probably don't know who I am. But like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I had a large following on TikTok. I was making money. I had fans. I had people who loved me. And I threw it all away. And a part of me regrets it, but a part of me knows that
You know what's crazy? He had a TikTok. He said he had a decent following on TikTok. I bet you would have kept going on with TikTok if you had a good work ethic. And do you know what builds a good work ethic? Having a goddamn job. This is starting to kind of make sense now. You got popping on TikTok. You realize that, there was money in it, and you thought it was just so easy, and you squandered away somehow. And now you're salty because that's what you had and you can't get it back. And now you're like, oh, damn, now I want that. But even with TikTok, all this stuff takes a certain amount of work. It's still work. You work to do that. You are at the mercy of TikTok. You can't say things. You can't do certain things. You cannot do whatever you want on these platforms because they have rules. They have terms and services that you cannot break. Sorry. My bad.
like at that time, that was the right decision.
I didn't mean to yell.
Right
I'm sorry.
It didn't feel right. I listened to what my body felt, you know. So I know it's
Sandra,
possible.
we gonna look at the
know
comments.
If I set my eyes on
I feel like we
something that
gotta
I know
look
I
at
want to
them
do, I know it's possible to get to that mountaintop. I just have to know how to maintain it. So I know that people are legitimately one decision away from their lives changing forever, but they can't make that decision. I feel like you have to go all in. Because me personally, I'd rather die than work a 9-to-5 job. I can't do it. I'd rather die. Like, it's just not worth doing. I legitimately start to get so depressed.
Stop. Okay, first of all, stop saying 9-to-5 job and just say job in general. Because no matter if it's 9-to-5, 8-to-4, 7-to-3, someone is going to be telling you what to do. Just say you don't want to work, bro. You don't want to work in general.
I start to lose my mind, and nothing in life is enjoyable anymore. And I start to dread just existing. And I feel like if you have that feeling, instead of saying there's something wrong with me and I need therapy, or there's something wrong with me and I need a drug, or there's something wrong with me, maybe there's nothing wrong with you, but you're just doing the wrong things. Maybe you just shouldn't be working that job. Maybe you should.
Also, everybody can't fucking be a content creator. This is, like I said before, this is not made for everybody.
Shouldn't be going down this life path. And I feel like you have to step outside.
Because I feel like that's what he's saying.
What everybody else is doing. Fuck society. Fuck the expectations. Fuck people who are telling you what you can and can't do or what you should do if it's not meant for you. You know what's meant for you. You know what feels natural. But a lot of people don't feel like it's possible. It is possible, especially with the internet. This isn't 1975.
Okay, yes, he's talking. Yes, he is. He wants everybody to be an influencer. That is just no. Everybody is not built for this. Yo, I get told by people all the time. People that know me, they personally hit me up and they'll be like, yo, I went into your comments under one video and I don't know how you do this. I would constantly argue with people 24/7. My feelings would be hurt. I could not take the constant criticisms. Yeah, a lot of people aren't built for this shit.
Where unless your dad is a millionaire or
Marsha said I can't influence for shite.
Nepo baby, then that's the only way you'll make it far. And you every other person has to go to school and just get a regular job and right. I get it. Back then it made sense, but today we live in a time where the internet births the most amazing people that we would have never seen before. Somebody could just post a TikTok online of them lip syncing to a video, some music video, and some modeling agency sees it, and their life has changed forever.
You still have to work. You still have to work. So all right. I would love to talk to this kid. Like, you still have to work, dog. And it's so funny when people talk about modeling. That shit is not easy. That is not easy. Models, dancers, those two professions especially, they have it really fucking rough. I mean, especially if you're a model that isn't signed to an agency. Like, that is rough. And dancers, don't even get me started on dancers.
Somebody could decide, I'm going to go start this clothing company. I'm going to go market it and promote it on these social media pages, and their life could change forever. We live in a time where you could legitimately do whatever you want to do if you just know what it is and stick to it. So fuck a job if it's not meant for you. That's all I got to say.
Okay, at least he said if it's not meant for you. Look, man, you just do your thing, be homeless. All right, let's look at these comments. Excuse me. 9 to 5 jobs in a nutshell. Have your boss bark at you 24/7? Coworkers are all competing against each other. That's not all jobs. I'm 47, young brother, and let me tell you, it doesn't get any easier. Figure something out now. Fuck this life, bro. I honestly feel like you're speaking my life. You know what this is? This is a bunch of people that are that are super entitled. This is the most sense I've heard anyone make in a long time. Are you kidding me? Nah, this is a bunch of lazy ass people. I understand if you don't want to work a job and you're an entrepreneur and you want to do your own thing and work for yourself. Cool, whatever. If that works for you, that works for you. But not everybody can do that. It's not that easy, and also it's still a job. You're still working. There is no job out here where you don't have to put in a certain amount of work. Like, it is work. And honestly, those folks that are entrepreneurs, those people with money, they put in an insane amount of work. I know when I go full time with this, I'm probably going to do a lot. In some cases, I may do more work than what I'm doing now for my 9 to 5. To be honest with you, yeah, this generation is cooked, man. This is crazy.